Just like any other relationship in the all-American universe, Cam's relationship with Keisha was no different. It was drama-filled, maybe a little too melodramatic. There were two different personalities. Cam was an amazing football player who had a strong sense of identity, and Keisha was almost always in a search of meaning in everything she did. Her insecurities were loud and her emotions unstable. Flings are easy, but relationships are hard, and Keisha never truly learned to stand on her own, which was kind of the point in the all-American universe. Family is important, no matter how messy it is. But was Keisha too needy, or was her emotional instability rooted in her mother's passing? Whose fault was the breakup? Let's start from the very beginning. Keisha was attracted to Cam from the moment they met, and Cam was open to a potential relationship. Because it was a fling, they never knew how close they had gotten until Nate pointed it out. Cam realized Keisha was a good woman who had been very supportive, especially during his brain aneurysm diagnosis, and did the right thing by asking her out. And with this came feelings that Keisha had buried deep within her. Cam brought out what she did not want to face, and she had to grow, she believed, which meant going to therapy. She left Cam with an empty table and a broken heart. She did explain later on why she stood him up, which he understood, but understanding doesn't always restore trust. Even after her therapeutic journey and her grand gesture of love, Cam admitted he could never fully trust Keisha because he put himself out there and she turned him down. And somehow this mistrust built and flooded their relationship because Keisha could never fully trust Cam either. And then the kiss happened. House once said, all successful relationships are based on lies. Lies to make your partner happy. But Keisha and Cam were lying to each other in all the wrong ways. As they grew as people in their chosen fields, so did their relationship into oblivion. Cam knew who he was in a relationship with, a needy and touchy Keisha who poured her frustrations on him at every turn. And Keisha failed to realize that Cam was always going to be an ambitious, self-assured man who was not super emotional and fully available to her clinginess. So whose fault was it? As much as there is blame to go around, we have to give this one to Keisha. Keisha said it herself. She sabotaged every relationship she's ever been in. She trusted JR more because his opinions was always neutral. He never had a skin in the game. He could be as supportive as he wanted to be, and Keisha was always going to take that as a positive. But because she was emotionally invested in Cam, his support came with strings attached. Even though he was being helpful, somehow it almost always seemed to feed into her insecurities because his opinions actually mattered. Cam always seemed to be walking on eggshells when it came to Keisha, and that is not a great foundation for a long-lasting relationship. But do share your thoughts.